Hey everyone, welcome back to DFS. I'm Leos, your forever enthusiastic AI advocate. And as always, I'm joined by Noah, the skeptic who keeps me grounded when I start dreaming too big.
Skeptic? Try realist? I'm the one keeping your sci-fi dreams in check, remember? But yeah, glad to be here, folks. Today's topic is a big one. AI in healthcare.
It's not just big, it's groundbreaking. AI is completely reshaping how we think about healthcare. Diagnostics, drug discovery, patient management. The list goes on. It feels like we're living in a sci-fi movie.
Yeah, but remember, sci-fi movies often come with plot twists, usually the dangerous kind. So, the question is AI in healthcare the revolution we need, or are we opening Pandora's box?
Always the realist. But seriously, this is such an exciting space. Did you know the AI healthcare market was worth over $15 billion in 2023 and is projected to hit nearly $200 billion by 2030? That's mind-blowing growth.
That's wild. But hold up. Where's all that money going? Are hospitals just throwing cash at shiny gadgets, or is there real substance behind it?
Great question. It's being driven by advancements in machine learning, natural language processing, robotics, you name it. And it's not just about the tech. It's about saving lives and improving outcomes.
All right, I'll bite. But let's take a closer look before we crown AI the hero of healthcare. Where do we start?
Let's start with diagnostics. This is where AI is making some of the biggest waves. Imagine AI systems analyzing medical images, like X-rays or MRIs, and detecting diseases like cancer earlier and more accurately than human doctors.
That's incredible. But here's the thing. If the AI gets it wrong, whose fault is it? The hospital? The developer? The AI itself?
That's a valid concern, and liability is a huge topic in this space. But remember, these systems aren't replacing doctors, they're augmenting them. Think of AI as a superpowered second opinion.
Okay, fair. But let's talk about drug discovery. I've heard AI is slashing the time it takes to develop new medications. What's the deal there?
It's amazing. AI can analyze thousands of compounds in a fraction of the time traditional methods take. This not only speeds up drug development, but also lowers costs. Plus, it's opening doors to personalized medicine, treatments tailored to your unique genetic makeup.
Now that's cool. But how do we ensure these drugs are tested rigorously? AI might speed things up, but rushing can be dangerous, right?
Absolutely. That's why AI is just a tool in the process. Human oversight remains critical, but let's not forget the lives this technology can save. The potential is enormous. Let's dive a little deeper into diagnostics. Noah, did you know AI systems can detect breast cancer with accuracy rates comparable to expert radiologists? That's not just impressive, it's revolutionary.
Yeah, I read about that. But what's interesting is how it works. These systems are trained on thousands, sometimes millions, of medical images. They spot patterns that even the sharpest human eye could miss. It's almost like they have superpowers.
Exactly. And it's not just cancer. AI is being used to detect heart disease, retinal issues, even neurological conditions like Alzheimer's. These are areas where early detection can literally save lives.
But doesn't that raise questions about overdiagnosis? I mean, if the AI is super sensitive, could it end up flagging things that aren't really problems?
Great point. And that's where balance comes in. AI tools are designed to assist, not dictate. Human doctors still play a critical role in interpreting results and deciding next steps. Moving on, let's talk about patient management. This is where AI is making healthcare more efficient. Picture this: a virtual health assistant that reminds you to take your meds, schedules your appointments, and even answers basic medical questions.
Sounds handy, but also a bit impersonal. What happens to the doctor-patient relationship? Isn't healthcare supposed to be about human connection?
I get that. But think about the time it saves for doctors. By handling routine tasks, AI lets them focus more on patients who need personal attention. It's not replacing the human touch, it's enhancing it.
Okay, I see your point. But what about accuracy? If the AI messes up, say, schedules the wrong dose of a medication, who's accountable?
That's why oversight is key. AI tools are designed to work under supervision, not autonomously. And as the tech evolves, so will the safeguards.
All right, I'm warming up to this, but let's shift gears. What about mental health? I've read about AI-powered chatbots being used as therapists. Does that actually work?
Surprisingly, yes. These chatbots aren't meant to replace therapists, but they're great for providing support in between sessions or for people who might not have access to mental health care. It's another step toward making healthcare more accessible.
Let's pivot to patient management for a moment. You mentioned virtual health assistants earlier, but give me a concrete example. What are these assistants actually doing?
Picture this. You're managing a chronic condition like diabetes. An AI assistant could monitor your blood sugar levels in real time, send alerts if something's off, and even recommend dietary changes. It's like having a personal healthcare coach in your pocket.
That sounds great, but here's my worry. What happens when people start relying too much on these systems? Could it make them less proactive about their own health?
That's a fair concern, but I think it's about balance. These tools are meant to empower patients, not replace their involvement. Think of it as giving people the knowledge they need to make better decisions.
Okay, but how well do these systems handle nuance? Like, can they recognize when a symptom is actually part of a bigger issue?
That's where AI gets interesting. Some systems are now using natural language processing to analyze patient-reported symptoms alongside medical data. They're not perfect, but they're getting better at seeing the big picture.
All right, but let's not forget the elephant in the room. Cost. Are these systems affordable, or are they just for people who can pay top dollar?
Right now, they're definitely more accessible to those with resources, but that's changing. As the technology scales, costs are coming down. Plus, governments and nonprofits are stepping in to make these tools available to underserved communities.
Good to hear. But let's talk about wearables for a second. Smartwatches are already tracking things like heart rate and sleep patterns. Where do you see this tech going in the next 5 years?
Oh, wearables are just scratching the surface. In the near future, we're looking at devices that could detect things like irregular heartbeats, early signs of stroke, or even monitor mental health metrics like stress levels. The possibilities are endless.
All right, let's talk challenges. First up, privacy. AI thrives on data, but who owns that data? The patient, the hospital, the tech company?
Great question. Ideally, patients should own their data, but in practice, it's often shared between hospitals and tech companies. That's why we need strict regulations to ensure it's used ethically and securely.
And what about bias? AI learns from data, and if that data is biased, won't the AI just perpetuate those biases?
Exactly. That's a major issue. It's why diverse data sets and transparent algorithms are so important. If we're not careful, we could end up reinforcing existing inequalities in healthcare sooner.
Speaking of inequalities, let's talk accessibility. AI is expensive. Are we just creating a system where the rich get better healthcare and the poor get left behind?
That's a real concern, but I think as the technology matures, it'll become more affordable. Governments and NGOs also have a role to play in making sure this tech reaches everyone.
All right, Leos, bottom line, AI in healthcare, revolution or risk?
Definitely a revolution. But like all revolutions, it needs guardrails. We need to be thoughtful about how we implement and regulate this technology.
Fair enough. Big potential, big responsibility. It's exciting, but we've got to keep asking the tough questions.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Let us know your thoughts. Do you think AI in healthcare is a blessing or a challenge waiting to happen?
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. And hey, if you've got topics you want us to tackle next, drop them in the comments. Until next time, stay curious.